Hey Canucks fans, Elias Pettersson did not make the NHL.com list of top 16 centers. And believe it or not, I'm okay with it. I'm Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. And this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Friday, June the 19th. This is where you get Canucks insight that's both positive and timely. I'm in a good mood because it's the day before the Clay Triduum, or to use a non-Christian term, the Clay Trifecta, the best 3 consecutive days of the calendar year. June 20, the first day of summer, although the weather might be bad. June 21st, Father's Day, a day where I can do even less than I usually do. And June 22nd, my 46th birthday. So first day of summer, Father's Day, my birthday, the Clay Triduum, or the Clay Trifecta. Can't wait to start celebrating tomorrow. Okay, today, before I get to Elias Pettersson, I want to talk about a few quick news stories. Yesterday, we heard from Rick Dhaliwal that both Nikolai Goudobin and Reid Boucher on their way out of the Vancouver Canucks organization, leaving Utica. No surprise if you've been following the team and following these two guys. Nikolai Goudobin not really figuring the Canucks' plans in the past couple years. Really didn't live up to the potential that he might have had when he came over from San Jose in that trade in 2017 for Jannik Hansen. It was worth that shot because Jannik Hansen was on his way down in his career, but unfortunately Goudobin could not provide the spark or could not be the top 6 forward that many people that hoped that he might be. So Goudobin, 2-year contract in the KHL, and his contract with the Canucks basically was going to end at the end of the season. So we're happy for him and we wish him luck there. Reid Boucher, he actually broke his contract. He got permission from the Canucks to break his contract to go to the KHL for a 1-year deal over there. And Boucher may be a career AHLer. He was almost too good for the AHL, but not good enough for the NHL. So he's in that weird tweener stage. So we wish him luck as well. So again, Goudobin and Boucher on their way out of the Canucks organization, leaving the Utica Comets, both of them to play in the KHL. And we wish both of them luck. Also want to talk about very quickly, there's been a few positive COVID tests around, not just the NHL, but in pro sports overall. Ezekiel Elliott, the running back for the Dallas Cowboys, probably the most high-profile name, but joined by Austin Matthews. We heard about half an hour ago that it sounds like he has COVID, got it in Arizona. We heard that there might be more players training in the Arizona area that have COVID. We know that Tampa Bay Lightning had to shut down their training, their phase 2 training for at least a little bit as all their players get tested because 4 or 5 of them have been diagnosed with COVID. So we know it's starting to go around, and maybe whether you call this the second wave or the end of the first wave, I'm not even sure if we got out of that wave yet, but places like Arizona, places like Florida are among the hot spots where you're starting to see the numbers rise again. So I don't know what that means for the future of all the professional sports that are trying to get back pretty soon, but we keep our fingers crossed, and of course we hope that everyone affected does recover safely. Okay, let's talk about this NHL.com top 16 list. They did one last week with the goaltenders. Basically, they ranked all the goaltenders that were on teams that were still eligible to play. So the 24 teams, 7 of them not, but 24 teams. So that's anywhere between 36 and 45 goaltenders realistically that will see some game action. And Jacob Markstrom was ranked number 13. And some people were upset by that. They thought he should be higher. They thought he got disrespected given the season he had. But overall, 13 out of the entire league is still pretty good. Well, today, Elias Pettersson was part of this top 16 centers list, and he only made number 18. He didn't even crack the top 16. And he's with some good company. Sebastian Aho of the Carolina Hurricanes was actually number 17, and Pettersson was number 18, and Braden Point of the Tampa Bay Lightning was under him at number 19 or 20. Also, Jack Eichel didn't make the list because Buffalo was one of the 7 teams that didn't make the playoffs or didn't even make the play-in, so to speak. So let's talk about the guys that were ranked ahead of Pettersson. And when you hear all these names, I'm okay with the fact that Pettersson's not on this list because I think he's going to get on this list. I think as early as next year, he'll be a top 16 center in the league. But he's only 2 years in, and I think it's been awesome how good he's been in his first 2 seasons, giving Canucks fans some hope and some excitement and a real pride around our team. But I'm not sure if you can unseat any of these guys. So just listen to these guys. You know all of them, so I don't have to say their whole name or their team. I'll just say their last names. So here we go. Here's the top 16, according to the 13 writers on NHL.com that voted. McDavid, Crosby, McKinnon, Bergeron, Draisaitl, Malkin, Matthews, Stamkos, O'Reilly, Tavares, Scheifele, Backstrom, Barkov, Couturier, Zibanejad, and Taves. I definitely think the top 10 or 12, definitely you can't rank PD ahead of them as much as we want him to be there. But, the bottom three, TSN did a poll. Could any of these guys be unseated by Petey? Sean Couturier, Selke candidate. Zibanejad, I can't even say his name. He had 75 points still this season, a full 9 more than Pettersson, and he did it in only 57 games. 75 points in 57 games is quite impressive for Zibanejad. And then Jonathan Toews, maybe his best days are behind him, but still an awesome leader and an awesome leader both on and off the ice. So could Petey have unseat one of those three guys? It's debatable. I'd have time for you if you said, yeah, he should be ranked in maybe 14, 15, or 16. But I'm also fine where he was, like I said, at 18, considering the company he had off the list in guys like Aho and Point. Like I said, Jack Eichel wasn't on that list because the Buffalo Sabres did not qualify as one of the top 24 teams. And when you look at the scoring, and I know scoring's not the only thing, it's not the end-all and be-all, but it's a pretty good indicator of how good of a player you are, right? Most people look at the scoring race and they don't look at your your plus minus or your time on ice, right? The easy stat to see is goals and assists. And from that standpoint, Pettersson was actually the 10th highest scoring center in the league with his 66 points in his 68 games. Actually, just ahead of him, number 9, not even a center this year, but he was listed as a center on NHL.com. So and it was JT Miller with his 72 points in 69 games. So Miller had 72 points, then Pettersson had 66 points. That was your number 9 and number 10. Jack Eichel, by the way, was number 5. So then, of course, the top scorers were on there. The guys like Draisaitl and McKinnon and McDavid and Scheifele, and Matthews, and Malkin, and Zibanejad. All these guys were actually ahead of Pettersson in the top 10. Actually, it was those 8. It was McDavid, and according to centers, it was McDavid, McKinnon, Draisaitl, Malkin, Matthews, Scheifele, and Zibanejad. Make that 7. So those 7, plus Eichel makes 8, plus Miller number 9, and Pettersson makes number 10. That makes more sense. So there we go. So 7 of these 16 were higher than Pettersson when it came to point total. But that means 9 of these 16 were below him. Crosby was actually ranked number 38 in scoring. He had only 47 points in 41 games, but he was number 2 on this list. Patrice Bergeron, he had 56 points in 61 games, but he's a plus 23, and again, going to be likely a Selke nominee for sure. And then you had guys like O'Reilly, who was 16th in scoring, Tavares, who was 20th in scoring, Backstrom, 26th in scoring, Barkov 14th in scoring, Couturier 21st in scoring, and Toews, who was 19th in scoring. So, like I said, Pettersson actually had more points than more than half of his top 16 list. But is that enough to unseat any of these guys from the list? Like I said, I have no problem with Pettersson being ranked number 18. Of course, given my rant from earlier this week, I would love it if the Canucks were respected more. I'd love it if they got more love. But 18th is pretty tough. I mean, it's still pretty good when you look at all the names listed, and of course center being the most abundant, the most talent in the NHL, right? You're either a center or a goalie, really. That the lists are the hardest to crack. So 18th overall on this list, that includes guys like Draisaitl, Matthews, Crosby, McKinnon, and McDavid. I still think that's pretty good. And we know that Pettersson is going to crack this top 16 list going forward, maybe as early as next season. We're not worried. He's only played two years, yet it's been an amazing 2 years. And yeah, as much as I love to see him in the top 16, I don't get too worked up that he's not in this particular top 16 list. But Canucks fans, I want to know what you think. Were you offended when you saw this list or when you heard this list? Are you offended right now? Or are you kind of with me when you're saying, hey, 18's not bad. Those are some really good players listed ahead of him, and he's going to get there much sooner than later. Leave your comments below. I would love to read, react, and reply as always. Subscribe if you like to. Like this video if you like to. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Have a great day, and get ready for the Clay Tridium. God bless, and go Canucks go.